honey garlic chicken wings. The recipe to go to, that's for sure. Every single time they will be oh so delicious. And of course, again, thank you so much for joining me. Welcome to V's Cooking with Love channel. I thought that I should have recorded my husband eating them because that was only yes, that would have been probably the best right there. But I'm telling you, the picture is delicious and the reality is even better. And the ingredients are simple, the process is simple, and look at all this gooiness. Can you see what I'm talking about? I know, I keep saying that. What else can you say about something that is this delicious? So we have a wonderful recipe for you again. We are working with the chicken wings, and you can even do this with the thighs if that's what you are working with. So you see, not too many ingredients, so yes, let's cook. First of all, of course, we got to get going on those chicken wings. We are not using the tips, only the leftover parts, the drums and drumettes. I used about 4 pounds of chicken wings here. And of course, you can make this recipe half or even double it. I just want to show you how to split it really well. You see, I was just kind of pointing out to you, once you find that little bone right there, the knife really cuts it right through it. And the process is very, very simple. It doesn't take that long, or you can just buy the ones that they are pre-cut. Oh yes, and by the way, I hope you have visited my husband's channel already, Small Home of Grid Prepping. He has so many different videos when it comes to solar and electrical. Yes, he is the man to go to. And of course, we invite you also to our stores. We have multiple ones now. We are adding items on a daily basis. We are still growing. We are still putting new, very diversified items out there. So yes, check us out all the time because we are adding more things. You see, I just put a few things over here, and we have anything from solar, from paintings. I don't know if you notice about my knitting that I have out there, and that's also growing. Adding more things to my knitting section. I even have a little children department that I'm going to be adding more things there. This is just some of headbands and my sweater that I knitted there. There is more. The colors available. So yes, check it out. And keep on checking it out. Like I said, more things still to come. But let's get back to our wings. We do need to dry them up with paper towel as much as you can. The more, the better. And once that process is done, we will be adding a couple tablespoons, most likely like an olive oil, to drizzle in them and coat them very, very well with that olive oil. You can do it with some kind of kitchen utensil, or you can do it, of course, by hand. Whatever it's going to work better for you. And once they are very well coated, dig into the bottom, we will be adding the spices and coat them with the spices next. What I used here is 1 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 teaspoon black pepper, 1 teaspoon smoked paprika, 1 teaspoon garlic powder, and 2 teaspoons of Chinese 5-spice. If you wanted to, you can also throw it in another teaspoon of powder onion as well. If you don't have the allspice, don't sweat it. It still will be good. I just kind of like that flavor in here too. So it is up to you. And just mix them up. And what I did first about a half of that seasoning on the chicken. And I mixed the chicken in that half of the seasoning first. I just want to make sure that the chicken is very thoroughly coated. Because once I toss that chicken around, and it was semi-coated, I add the remaining spices to it. We're not leaving them for anything. All those spices are coating just that chicken once the chicken was coated with the oil. So you want to have some kind of big enough bowl to work with it, that you are not, you have the room to work that chicken and coat that chicken very well. So that's all. And once they are coated, we are lining up baking sheets with foil or parchment paper. I like to use the 2 sheets for those 4 pounds. And I did spray the parchment paper with the cooking spray. And you want to lay the chicken out so they have some room. They are not really congested. And the reason I like the 2 sheets, because sometimes in 1 sheet all those juices, it seems like they collect more and you have more juices, and if you have less juices, that's a little bit better and they all simmer out in 1 sheet easier. So yes, preheated oven to 425 Fahrenheit, and we are baking it first for 20 minutes, but they will not be done. This is just the first stage of our cooking. On the meantime, I have about 5 garlic cloves here because they were a little bit smaller, and I did mince them, but I used a knife to do that. I would really recommend to really dice them really small chunks like that, but with the knife instead of using garlic crusher. They just will look a little bit better too. And also we are using minced ginger. To peel the ginger, it's the easiest just with a little teaspoon. And I grinded it on a small grinder, and you need about 1 tablespoon once it's all mixed. In a cooking pan that it's not too big, but to carry all of the ingredients, we are adding half a cup of water or chicken broth. Of course, you can use chicken stock as well. I use chicken broth here. And next we add 1/4 cup of soy sauce. You can also substitute that with tahini if you want to go a little bit maybe healthier. And next we are adding 1/4 cup of brown sugar. I added sugar here, and I'm also adding honey. If you don't want to use brown sugar, you can just do double honey. I put here 1/4 cup of each, so I'm adding 1/4 cup of honey. And try to find a good honey. I always mention that. It seems like it's getting harder and harder to find good honey. If you have a good one out there, let me know too. 2 tablespoons of rice wine vinegar for a little bit of zing, of course, in that recipe too. If you wanted to, and if you don't have that, you can even add some lemon juice. So here goes our ginger, and we are of course adding our garlic. And you see that's a little diced up because we're making a sauce here that we are coating the chicken with. If that garlic has those little chunks, it just looks a little bit better. I also added 1 tablespoon of cornstarch to thicken it up a little bit. And of course you can substitute that with flour too. 1/4 teaspoon of red pepper flakes. It is optional if you want to make them just a little bit hot, because that's what this was, just a little bit of that hot in it. But you can double that, or you can just totally skip it. I also did put in 1 tablespoon of sesame seed oil. If you want, you can skip it too if you don't have it. But I kind of like that flavor in this recipe. So we mix all our ingredients in the cooking pan, and we bring it to boil. Once all this comes to boil, you want to lower the heat just enough to a little simmer, and we do that for about 10 minutes. So your sauce should be ready once the wings are coming out in the oven for getting basted, but that's a little bit later. Because on the meantime, after the first 20 minutes is done, we take the wings out and we will flip them to the other side and put them back into the oven for another 20 minutes to be baked. So that will be total there of 40 minutes for now. And again, they will be close to be done, but not yet. So it is a little bit of work with the wings, but we're also trying not to fry them. So I highly recommend, if you don't look for frying wings, that's the way to go. And October actually 28th, it's a National Chocolate Day, so I should be making some chocolate instead. Or actually it's also National First Responder Day. How about that? National Immigration Day. How about that? And of course, for the ones who knows who St. Jude was, a very special saint in my life too. So that's a little bit of information for the day while we are flipping all the chicken wings here. So once the chickens are flipped, we'll be going back into the oven for the next 20 minutes. The temperature stayed the same. It's still 425, and we are cooking them for that 20 minutes in the oven. You see, they are not releasing that much juice, because when they are in one pan, then it's a little bit overcrowded. If you have a nice and big one, maybe you can get away with that. Okay, when the 20 minutes is up, we will be brushing the chicken wings on each side with the glaze, with the sauce, wherever you want to call it. And then they will be going back into the oven for another 10 minutes. So I speeded up the process a little bit here to make it a little bit faster for you. And like I said, you do that on both sides, and the chicken will have that nice glaze. The glaze by then, it should be just enough thickened up, and it's just the beautiful flavor from it. And we will be cooking in that flavor added from the glaze. So you see what a wonderful color it is already. And I have to tell you, you can almost skip that process later, but what I did, I actually coated it one more time, and I put it under broiler for additional minute or two. And let me tell you, you have to be very careful, because the broiler will brown them up very fast. But I think you know what I'm talking about, because look what an effect the broiler does on that chicken. It is truly delicious. But I did bring my glaze back to boil again, the sauce, because when I was coating, that chicken was still raw, and you want to make sure that you don't transport that into your glaze later. If you are using that glaze later to coat your chicken with, which I did, I poured my leftover glaze out on that chicken. So you see, when they come out of the oven, that broiler really does the trick on that chicken, and they are so gooey from all that honey in there, that they are not sticking to the paper because I spray them. But let me tell you, you can actually feel it, how almost they want to because of all that sugar in here from the honey. So they are coming out on your serving plate. Deliciousness coming your way, I'm telling you. This recipe, you cannot go wrong. I did this recipe many years ago at one of our business festivities, and they were talk of the town, I want to say, at that time. We had a big crowd at the party that we had, and you can actually keep them hot in a slow cooker if you want to serve them later, and the longer they sit, the better they will be. And you see the glaze that I preheated again, brought it back to simmer. I'm adding this all over that chicken, because you want that garlic, you want all that flavor that it's still there added on top of that chicken. If you want, you can garnish additionally either with some parsley. Oh yes, hearts coming your way. There is so much delicious love in here, I'm telling you. I actually used some green onions here. You can also use chives when you're serving them. It's not only that pop of color, but I think a bite of that in between, it adds additional amazingness too. So I know you will love these wings. They've been in our house for many years, and you cannot mess them up. Like I said, the ingredients are very simple. I'm sure if you cook that kind of food before, you probably even have all these ingredients. But you see, each wing, it's not dry. It's very nice and juicy inside, and it has all that flavor going into it. And again, keep it in mind, you can reheat them, and you can reheat them in a slow cooker if you need to serve them some other time. So they are very delicious when they are left over. That flavor absorbs in. Yes, and of course, thank you for watching again. I'll add some recipes here at the end of other wings that I've made before. Let me know what do you think about it, and stay put to many more recipes to come. And don't forget, we are still not done with pierogies. I know, I'm just teasing you all the time lately here about those. So we'll see you next time.